This is the flower bed in front of my building. Not a lot of flowers on it, right? Hi. Why I showed you that sad little piece of land just now. This morning, I came out with the dogs. They peed on the little grass area. And some lady who I've never seen before, I lived here for 18 years, started yelling at me that I shouldn't allow my dogs to pee on the grass in front of the building because kids play there. Kids play on the playground in the middle of the yard. And like she started yelling at me that she's gonna film me and show to somebody. I'm like, what? So I'm just mad about that a little bit. The dogs are doing okay. They're still fighting a little bit because Tassia always wants to be in my lap, and Alice is like, excuse me, this is my mama. So I'm running to the pharmacy now, and I'm worried that they're gonna fight while I'm away, but the pharmacy is just nearby. Oh, look at that little dog. It looks like a piglet. Are you a little piglet? Yeah, they've been barking the whole time I've been gone. I can hear them barking. I could hear them barking from the yard. Can you hear that? I hope they didn't fight. I hope she's just barking because she's upset that I left and that they're not fighting. Let me switch the camera to the normal camera and see. Somebody was so excited that there's a huge puddle in the middle of my hallway and a lot of wet paw prints. So I'm gonna have to wash the floors. Hello. Oh, look at your little face. This is for you. Yeah? You like it? Okay, very good. And these are for me. Grapefruit, tea tree, and lavender essential oils to sniff because I had COVID last November and I haven't been able to smell anything ever since. So I'm going to start doing smell therapy because I'm tired. Guess who brought soil from the potted plant into my bed? The culprit. Welcome back. I'm tired. I worked for a while and I'm not tired, but I want to read the Institute and chill for a little bit. I also want some coffee, but for the last 3 days, I don't know why, but whenever I make coffee, it always comes out wrong for whatever. Like, I don't know how you can lose the ability to make coffee. And I even bought a coffee stick so that I cannot mess it up. And now I'm afraid I'm going to make it. Finally, coffee came out okay, and it even has foam. And the Cheshire Cat. Hello, I'm on page 28 of the Institute. And I like it, but... Excuse me, Miss Ma'am? Okay. And Alice! Alice! She's holding my arm. Okay. I'm on page 28 of the Institute. And I like it, but so far, nothing to do with the actual plot has happened. It's just some guy, Tim. He lost his job. He was a police officer. And he's on his way to New York, where a friend of his can give him like a private security job. And he gets off the plane and decides to just hitchhike. Stops at this town, takes a night knocker job, and just about his life in this little town. And there's like nothing wrong with it, but this book is 600 pages long. No, wait. Oh no, it's not actually 600 pages long. It's 482 pages long. But I like Stephen King. I have kind of a hit-and-miss relationship with him because some of his books are so long because they are full of the human condition. And there's nothing wrong with that. I enjoy that. I think that's interesting. She's groaning. I guess maybe I need to take them for another walk. But I think my favorite book of his is The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. It's very short. It's over there somewhere. I cannot be bothered to get up and see how many pages it is, but it's maybe 200 pages at most. And it's just about a girl who gets lost in the woods. She's 9 or 11 years old, and she just has to walk to find her way. And even though there's no huge discussion about human relationships or anything like that, I know her. I know this girl, and that story was beautiful, and it was scary, and it was just perfect. And it only needed to be 200 pages to be that perfect. Not every book needs to be 600 pages long. I've got Sleeping Beauties on my shelf, and it's so huge. I'm scared of reading it, not because I'm scared of huge books, but because with Stephen King, sometimes it gets, I don't want to say tedious, because it just gets a little monotonous. Also, sometimes he writes himself into a corner and the endings are a mess, but that's not news to you. And I desperately hope that this isn't going to be the deal with this book. You wanna go for a walk? Wanna go walkies? Пошли гулять, Тася. Гулять пойдем? Да? Гулять? Oh, look. Алиса, гулять? Алиса. She doesn't like any of this. Okay, I'm on page 63 of the Institute. The second main character appeared. His name's Luke Ellis. He's 12 years old. And I'm already incredibly angry about what's happening to him. And I know that this book is going to make me so upset. But it's probably going to be interesting. But I have a little bit of a problem with something that's written here. I'm just going to read you a little passage. The vig, Luke said. That's what my dad calls it. Short for vigorish. From the Ukrainian word for profits or winnings. It's a hoodlum term. And Dad says the credit card companies are basically hoods. That is not a word, okay? I'm Ukrainian. And I can tell you that vigorish... Okay, my phone's... Vigorish is not a word. That is not a word. Mr. King, did you mean vigorish? I mean... No? That is not a word in the Ukrainian language. I don't understand. Is Stephen King... He couldn't have Googled it? There's nobody in America who knows Ukrainian? I'm sorry. I know I get angry about these things, but it just pisses me off. Like, I had to stop filming for a while because I was getting really angry. And I just need to tell myself, remind myself, that not everybody in the world is supposed to care about the same things that I care about, especially my culture and my language. I still feel like if you're putting a foreign word or a piece of a foreign to your culture in your book, you need to research it better. But apparently, nobody but me cares, so I'm just going to shut up. Hello again. I'm tired and I want to talk a little bit about the Ukrainian thing before I go to bed. I got really tired and I meant angry, sorry. No, that's not constructive. So I want to explain why I got so angry and why I think it's important. I think that we as a society owe it to each other to get certain important things right. I think we owe it to each other to care enough about each other to make an effort. And I'm not saying that Stephen King isn't doing that. Stephen King is one of the most compassionate, caring people, from what I see him do and say. I think he really cares about the world and he cares about people. But I also think that in a book by a writer as big as Stephen King, if somebody reads this word, chances are they're not going to care or Google it or anything like that. They're just going to take it on faith and accept that that is a Ukrainian word. And it's not as dangerous if it's just a word that doesn't even mean anything that important. What if it was a cultural practice? What if it was something very personal to Ukrainian people? And I've seen that happen in books time and time again, and quite a few times it was about my own Ukraine. And I just want it to be known that it's important. I just want people to care about this. And now that I calmly expressed my thoughts, I'm going to go to bed. The dogs are asleep, and hopefully they're not gonna fight anymore tonight because I'm so tired. And I will see you tomorrow, and good night.